In this episode, we met local musician and actor Ryan Scanlon, who told us about winning Sligo's Got Talent and what he did with the €10,000 cash prize, about the upcoming musical he's featuring in the Hawkswell Theatre, and he also very openly tells us about what it's like to live with a visual impairment. This show is in partnership with ATU Sligo Innovation Centre, the hub of innovation and commercial enterprise for startups, industry and academia.
The Sligo Show is produced by Pixel Productions and hosted by Brendan Tierney. If you need video for your business or live event or would like to appear on the show, send us a message today.
We have a very special, energetic, young guest who's got a lot already in his entertainment career. We have the one and only Ryan Scanlon, who's fresh from winning Sligo's Got Talent. He's got 10 grand in his pocket right here, right now. We're going to see if we get some out of him. And he's got a big plays involved in the Hawkswell Theatre on the 29th of February, which is Esmeray, the girl from the far side of the moon, done with the Mad Ravens production company. We'll get to all of that in a little while. But first, welcome to the Sligo Show, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm good, Brendan. I hope this isn't going out live because not that I have 10 grand in my pocket, but if I did, I wouldn't want a lot of people showing up about to rob me.
No, we're safe enough. So if we don't rob you, no one will. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
So you're very welcome. And straight out of, it's just pre-Christmas, winning Sligo's Got Talent. Yeah. I was saying to everyone earlier on, I've never actually chatted to someone after the winning. What did they do? What was it like?
Right.
So what was the whole journey for you like? Were you straight in going for it? Did someone have to tell you should go for that? Or
well, I'm probably the worst person to talk to about this because I didn't expect for 1 second that I'd even win the thing.
Yeah.
I nearly didn't enter it. How it started, I suppose, was I was looking through Instagram and it popped up Sligo's Got Talent and I saw the Garvolga posted and I thought, okay, this €10,000 I could do with that.
Everyone could do with that, yeah.
And I didn't think I'd win it though. But I had a band at the time and we were going entering it and we couldn't decide on a song to do. And so eventually I just said, I'll just enter it myself. Not knowing what to expect, showed up to the auditions, and I actually knew two of the judges there, funny enough.
Oh, well, small town, it's going to happen, yeah.
But I personally knew two of them, so that was quite nice.
Made it more comfortable, I presume, as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just got up and I played the song, and they said,
what song did you do?
Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Ah, okay.
I think Coldplay's kind of having their resurgence at the moment in Ireland anyway with the announcement of the tour dates next year or this year.
Yeah.
This year now, I suppose.
That's right. Yeah.
So if anyone wants to take me, I didn't get any tickets.
Well, you've got 10 grand, so there's going to be someone that'll take you.
Yeah.
Charge him well. Adam, only joking.
I'll probably get someone to bring me. But yeah, no, I mean, showed up to the audition and then it was it was one of the best things I ever did. Sligo's Got Talent. I enjoyed the company of everyone there, and I just enjoyed the journey. I didn't get choked up on winning or anything. I just enjoyed it, and it just happened.
Yeah. Were you very nervous? You don't strike me as someone that when you perform, you don't look like you're nervous. But were you nervous each night?
It's funny because the only time that I actually get nervous is if I know that I'm underprepared. I know that there's something that I didn't do which I could have done, like whether it was not having the song down as much as I would like to, but. Yeah. I really only get nervous about 10 seconds before I go on stage.
Okay.
But I think a trick that I heard over the years was if you just pretend that you're excited. So
I've heard this.
I just pretended that I was excited and I started, jumping up and down, and then I ran onto the stage, and it's like as soon as you hit that stage, I'm not even Ryan anymore. I'm like I'm a persona. I'm myself, but I'm also like I forget that I'm myself. I just become this thing on stage,
I'm going to guess, the first time I seen you perform was at a Sligo Summer Festival event that I was working at.
Yes.
I mean, I knew of you. I'd never seen you perform. You walked up on the stage and we were just getting you ready. But I was like, oh my God, Freddie Mercury is in Sligo. You were so brilliant and energetic, and I was so delighted. Oh, young entertainer, really going for it. So you really seem to be at home when you're on that stage, I'd say.
Oh, I love it. The stage is my true home.
Yeah.
I love being up there.
If you had your way, you would be full-time in music or theatre all the time, would you?
I'd love to do a skit someday where I actually have like a bed on stage. And as opposed to doing this big dramatic thing where you walk out on stage, just like an alarm clock goes off through the PA and I just get out of bed and just,
Oh, and that would be your piece on the stage?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got the world's your oyster now. And I said, I think the madder the better. It's better to be that standout performer. And as I said, you've definitely got that.
Thank you.
Just to very quickly kind of go through the Sligo's Got Talent, what was your, obviously the final I'm sure was brilliant, but was there a favourite night with a performance where you go, oh, that was magic?
Yeah, there was. It was the Halloween theme.
Okay.
And I did Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf. Okay. And I did the song because my mum suggested to do it. And I am ashamed to say, even though I listen to music as much as I do, I'd never listened to Meatloaf because sometimes I kind of, you know, I put off listening to certain artists because when I get into an artist, I really want to get into them and I want to give it time. So I did that song Bad at Hell by Meatloaf, and I remember getting off the stage and just thinking, wow, you know, if that was my last performance that I ever did,
it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. I was really proud of it. I put in the work. I showed off that I could actually sing, because for a lot of the competition I'd been playing guitar, so I couldn't really focus on my vocals as much. But for Bad Out of Hell, I really focused on my vocals. I wasn't playing guitar.
Just let it go, and it's a great energetic song. Like, you know, really gets the noise, gets the party going as well. I'm sure on the night.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I even dressed up like Meatloaf.
Okay,
with a suit courtesy of EJ Menswear.
Oh, get the plug in there now.
So they'll maybe do it again, please, guys. That was the highlight. If not the final, then that was the highlight. You know, the Halloween.
And you won the money that night. What was that night like, or what was the buzz like, or the next day like? Was it?
It was funny.
You obviously didn't get the money in your pocket maybe straight away. Obviously, you had to wait a little bit. But like, what was it like? 10 grand. What age are you now?
20.
20. So 20. What's it like having 10,000 euro in your hand at 20?
It is a great feeling. It is a great feeling, and I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like the money wasn't the main thing for me.
Yeah.
You know,
I genuinely believe you when you say that too. Like, I don't think I mean, it's great you got it, but you just seem to love being on the stage.
For me, it was, you know, like my standards for myself when it comes to music are extremely high, because I look up to the greats of the past and I try to hopefully someday kind of get close to that. And so for me, I'm always reaching for that bar, and I don't know if I always get to it, but I think winning Sligo's Got Talent for me just proved to myself that I had got it, you know? And I think what really did it was, so obviously how it worked was there was 6 people on the night, and then by votes that was whittled down to 3, and then from those 3 a winner was chosen. What happened was I made it to the final 3, and then 2 of the contestants actually gave me all of their votes. I think it could be 2 or 3 contestants actually gave me all of their votes.
There was 3 left in the other 2, or 2 others from the 6?
What am I talking about? Yeah, no, it must have been 2. It must have been 2.
Okay.
It must have been 2.
So they were in the last 3 as well?
No, sorry.
So the last 6.
Sorry, so there was 6 altogether. There was 3 eliminated, and then there was 3 more. So so 3 gave me their votes.
So they could give their votes across. I didn't realise.
Yeah, so how it worked for the final was you had 2 rounds of voting. The first round was for the final 3, and then the second round was for the overall winner.
Okay.
So the 3 who didn't make it still had all their votes left for the final round, and 3 of them, with all their friends and supporters, gave me all their votes. 3 final. Well,
I mean, that is a testament to obviously how good you were and what way the whole show went.
I think it was just because, I don't know, I don't know what it was. But
well, I would imagine it was your talent and performance, and then obviously just your genuineness and your friendliness, I imagine, just clearly shone through when they were willing to do that on the night. So have you did you do anything wild with any of the money yet? Or
yeah.
You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to now, but you've enjoyed it so far.
I won't tell you about Barbados.
That's okay.
We don't talk about Barbados. I can't tell you about Magaluf though, but no.
Okay, we'll put that in a later version of the show.
Well, I mean, yeah, I did spend it. And originally I said that I wasn't going to spend it because I was like, I wanted to put it towards to be honest, a van.
Okay.
Even though I don't drive for touring. I was thinking future proof, you know?
Yeah.
But that didn't end up happening. I think I ended up spending the money not long after I got it. Okay. Not all of it now, of course.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Well, you're entitled to have a bit of fun with it too.
I bought my dad a guitar for Christmas because he had an electric guitar that was in perfectly good condition until I started using it. Okay. Now it's not in a very playable state. So I bought him a guitar. Okay. I bought a TV for Mum and just different bits. And then I spent some myself. A lot of it went towards music gear.
No doubt.
The majority of
that's future proofing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, the majority of what I've spent went towards, you know, a mixing desk and drums and different things like that.
So going back a few years, when did you first start like getting into this world of playing music? Was it in the family? Obviously, your dad, as you said, had a guitar.
Yeah, so my dad plays a bit of guitar. My dad just has this musical streak in him where he'll go over to the piano and he'll just start banging out a melody or a tune that he knows. And he also he loves a Johnny Cash and he plays the guitar. So that's dad, and then Mum is a very good singer. even though she probably won't admit it.
Okay, well, it's exposed now.
It's exposed.
Every time that sees her from now on, we'll ask her to go sing. We'll ask her to go singing.
She'll appear for some backing vocals.
We'll get her on the show for a song sometime.
Of course. So it runs in the family. I mean, if you look back and even further, like my grandparents and things like that, my grandmother, God rest her, my dad's side was a great musician, pianist, accordionist, fiddle player, fantastic.
Okay.
But where it started for me was when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
At Mary Clinton's Montessori in, up there in Carrow or I forget the name of the estate.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
But I was 3 years old doing a Christmas play, and for whatever reason I decided to break into Folsom Prison and Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. Now what that has to do with the nativity story, I'm not too sure.
Okay, so it was an alternative nativity, I'm presuming, was it? Or was it your own nativity you just interjected with?
I think it was the nativity story featuring Johnny Cash. But that was my earliest memory of being on stage, and I just remember I was recalling this before Christmas when I was thinking about it, and that was the first time I ever felt the feeling of performing on stage, and it is the best feeling.
It's like a drug.
It is like a drug. It's the
best kind of drug.
It's the best drug you can get,
And throughout school and teenage years, which obviously aren't that long ago, anyways, were you involved locally with musical groups or musical theatre or school stuff?
I did bits and pieces as a child. Yeah, we did the Hallelujah concert. I think back a few years when I was like in 4th class or something, and I think I had a solo in that. We did like a reenactment of it afterwards for everyone who couldn't make it, and I had a solo piece. But up until I was about 16, I didn't really do much. When I was 14, I kind of started to get back into singing, but it was really when I was 16 that I started taking singing seriously, and I picked up the drums, the guitar, and the piano all kind of at the same time.
As we all do,
Yeah.
all at the same time.
All at the same
Going
time.
to lessons, or could you pick it up yourself by ear? Or
I had a few drum lessons when I was like 7. I had a few piano lessons, but I just don't think that I had the discipline to sit there and be taught, right, this is how you play the piano properly, this is how you play the drums properly. I wanted to do it my own way,
No
so
doubt.
I really, the most learning that I did was self-taught.
Right. Okay. So as you said, there was that musical DNA in the family already.
Yeah.
So then forwarding on to when did you start? Obviously I seen you playing at the Summer Festival, doing those kind of gigs, or were you doing gigs around town? I'm obviously maybe too young to do pubs and stuff like that. So where were you kind of first starting to get into doing some proper gigs then?
I suppose the first time was the Kieran Quinn theme nights.
The teenage theme nights.
Okay.
Which is, we've mentioned this on the show before, we're blessed that we have the Sligo's Got Talent that gives people a chance to be on stage. We've got Kieran Quinn's events, whether they're adult or teen, it's absolute massive.
Oh, it's class.
Mega asset. So that was your first taste of adult, more, older, I should say, performing on a stage in front of a crowd.
Yeah, no, a friend convinced me to go on and do the teenage theme nights, and I was like, I'm not really a great singer. But she said, just do it. So I went on the show. I went on the teenage theme nights and did a song, and it was terrible.
What did you do?
I think I did "Perfect" by Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
Is,
why did you think it was terrible? It didn't go down with the audience, you think, or you over criticized yourself? Maybe
it was just really bad. It was just really bad. I was super tense at the time and self-conscious. I think I kept touching my head for some reason.
Yeah.
As I don't even know.
Yeah.
I was singing kind of out of tune, and it just wasn't good. I had a buzz cut at the time. I don't even call that the same that me.
Yeah. But it was part of your journey too, though. I suppose you had to kind of learn and do these things to realize the good ones.
Exactly, and I kept doing the Kieran Quinn teenage theme nights, and every time I got better and better. Because I was working at it, I tried, especially when I was 16, I tried really hard to be a singer, I would record myself every day and listen to it because I just loved it so much at the time. So the Kieran Quinn theme nights, and then I suppose later, kind of post-lockdown, lockdown is really where I kind of got good at everything. Lockdown is where I got good at all my instruments and singing and stuff, and kind of post-lockdown then I did a lot of busking.
Yeah, I've seen you, yeah.
Yeah, so the busking was a great way for me of building my confidence and actually building my voice, getting it stronger and stuff, and becoming, less conscious about what people thought.
Yeah.
And then, when I was 18, I suppose, I started gigging properly in pubs, and so that was...
we can catch you anywhere around town on random nights, so I presume?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I want to give a plug for any regular gigs or where you've played.
Yeah. I've been in Maves a few times. Maves are very good to me. I've been in a few places. I've been in Fiddlers. I've been in Gracie's. I did a gig or two in Anderson's.
Okay.
As a band, a few places around town.
Yeah, so if we always relate back to the good old our old guest here, John the Map Scanlon, who does SligoMusicians.com website. So watch out for the name Ryan Scanlon on that listing. So
yes,
and
is he the one who does out the big kind of poster?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, and he does it all for free. He's an amazing
Wow.
man. Yeah. So then, obviously, that's the music world, and you're here tonight, obviously, to talk about the upcoming show you're in, which is
Obviously,
Musical.
yes.
So,
Musical,
and I've seen you in another Sean Purcell. Sean Purcell, of course, writer and director. He's done so many original pieces of theatre in Sligo. It's amazing. And as you know, I was doing bits myself with him before. We've had him on the show. Amazing man.
Yes.
And this was the show that should have happened in 2020, and now it's
Yes.
adapted a little bit.
Yeah.
So this was the real COVID show that was rehearsal.
Were you in that?
Yeah, we had done
Yeah.
the rehearsal, all ready to go, and then everyone kind of knew this might not happen. And literally the next day, go back in and strip out the whole set.
I heard some stories that you guys put the Mad into Mad Ravens on that night.
Yeah, well, the Mad Ravens had been there before that, in fairness.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Like, the Mad Ravens was kind of just an accidental dramatic name, I think. But
It's great.
Yeah, no, it's
a
great
name.
fun. It's a great bunch.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, I couldn't do the remake of the show as such, but it's now been twisted around to a new version. It was The Boy from the Far Side of the Moon. Now it's Esmeray, the girl
from the far side of the moon.
So, in a nutshell, if someone go, what's it about? Hard to do a short answer.
Let's see if I can do it in one breath. So Esmeray, the girl from the far side of the moon, is about a girl called Esmeray who lives on the moon, who is kind of discontent with her life, and so she longs to come down on Earth. One day she falls down on Earth, she lands in a bush, she's found by these two guys called Billy and Knuckles who are playing hurling. I can't do it in one breath, I just realised.
That's okay. We don't want you to faint.
Billy and Knuckles find Esmeray. They discover that she's a natural at hurling. And they kind of think to themselves, wait a minute, what if we had her play for us? Billy and Knuckles are from Stratton.
This is the imaginary town.
The imaginary town in Sligo, located. You'd have to ask Sean.
Well, it's just a good rural town. I mean,
a good rural town.
Yeah.
Sligo is known for its good rural towns.
Yeah.
So Stratton, yes, they're from Stratton, and their kind of enemies are the Ballycar boys. I don't like the Ballycar boys because the Ballycar boys have been fleecing them for years and years and years. So they come up with this idea that Esmeray is going to come on the team and be their secret weapon.
Yeah, now we have to be careful we don't reveal too much now.
Oh, no.
So it's this star lands down in rural Ireland with all your obvious Irish characters, and then chaos ensues. And what's your character, or who do you play?
So I play Knuckles.
Okay, so obviously it's a comedy character, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a comedy character. It's kind of it like, I suppose my interpretation is a bit more like Dougal from Father Ted.
Okay.
That's kind of what Sean was saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, a comedy character. He's a bit kind of thick in the head. He doesn't really know what's going on. But you know, he loves his best friend Billy, and he loves hurling. He's absolutely mad about hurling, and and plays the guitar seemingly.
All right, what a coincidence.
Maybe I should have. Maybe I'm saying too much.
No, that's okay. I don't think you're revealing too much to the story there with that. And that's in the Hawkswell, the 29th of February to the 2nd of March.
It is.
Okay, so you're all excited. Tickets are flying out the door. You're looking forward to getting on the stage again. Have you performed, I'm sure, plenty of times in different shows down the years in various varieties?
Yeah, no, I'm no stranger to the Hawkswell.
So theatre or live music, if you had to choose?
Oh, live music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
No, that's okay.
I love acting, and especially like these last two shows that I've done with Sean, the Esmeray, and then the show last year, The House in Cedarwood Drive, has made me realise that I love acting, and I don't think I'm a particularly, like talented actor or anything. But
I've seen you in it now, so stop underrating yourself. In fairness, anyone go see this show, and I have no doubt that Ryan's going to be.
You can come up to me afterwards and tell me how bad.
I'll tell you the truth.
Good I is. Tell me the truth, Brendan. But yeah, no, I love acting, but it always has to be live music for me.
Okay.
But that's the great thing about musicals is I think musicals kind of blends my two loves of music and acting. So
yeah, and Sean is also says it's musical theatre. So it's not all singing; it's a lot of dialogue as well. Because some people go, "Oh, I'm not really sure if I'm into music."
Yeah.
So if just in case there's anyone watching, they go, "Oh no, it is a play, but there's a musical side to it." Absolutely.
That's it. It is a play with musical numbers, and the thing about it is like the musical numbers, they're not corny.
Yeah. Oh, no, a lot of them are great fun. I presume some of the old songs from the previous show are there again. So I mean, there's a lot of great fun. Yeah.
And I think the songs are really just used as a means to tell the story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
very good.
And it's not. Look, I mean, I think it's it's not all songs. Definitely, it's really good bit of serious acting in there as well.
And I know we talked about this a bit earlier, going back to that gig at the Summer Festival, and I remember you were on the stage, and I remember you trying to read something, and I was like, and you told me, oh no, I have really poor eyesight. So you've done all of this throughout your life, but yet you've been dealing with this vision issue. So, like, is that something that's always been there? Has it deteriorated? What's that happening?
Yeah. So I'm glad you bring that up. So when I was 2, I think it was noticed that I had a squint in my eye, and then but nothing really was made of it until I was in primary school, and the teacher noticed that I was kind of taking a longer time to take down stuff off the board. And I think originally they thought it might have been kind of an intellectual thing, but they didn't. I was so young that you wouldn't really know. So I was sent for tests and things like that. And I think it took them a while to actually figure out, oh, hold on a minute, this isn't an intellectual thing. He just can't see the board. Because obviously as a kid, I think my vision began to slowly deteriorate. So I didn't really notice that it was happening. But yeah, it kind of started when I was 5 and kind of got worse and worse and worse till today, where I'd say that I have pretty limited vision. Like, I say that I have pretty limited vision, but also, like, there's a guy in the musical with us who's fully blind. He is loving life. He's loving being in the musical. He's loving singing. And it just kind of makes me think, well, I'm always giving out about my vision, but I think I should really be grateful. Because
it does. I presume it does get to you at times. It must be... There's obviously certain things you're limited to doing as well, then I presume. Like what are the things you can't see or do easily or interact with?
So I can't find things very easily. I can't read, like, looking across to you now, I can't make out your facial expression. Like, you could be smiling or you could be frowning. I wouldn't be able to tell. And
there's no... Can you wear any...
I can't drive either.
Okay.
Won't be able... unless they either cure my vision or come out with a car that can drive itself.
Okay. Well, there's talk of that. So
there's talk of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll come soon.
And are you ongoing trying to, get some kind of procedures done or something? Or is there any kind of medication? Is there anything you can use, or special glasses or anything?
Not really. Like, the health service is kind of slow.
Yeah.
No matter what, whether you go private or public, it's pretty slow. But my specific condition, which is called optic atrophy, which is the optic nerve, there's not a lot they can do for that.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like, it's really kind of far inside your head and in your skull and stuff, and they can't really, even if they could get at it, there's not really anything they can do.
It's too deep inside maybe or something.
And it's the nerve. There's not, for nerves, there's kind of...
limited.
It's kind of limited in what they can do. But yeah, no, I wear glasses. I'm not wearing them at the moment, but I do wear glasses.
And that makes it that bit more easy to do with the basic things.
Yeah, it makes it better. It makes it a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
But even with the glasses, I'm still miles below the average sight range. Yeah.
And would you say, was there a point then that you were like, I'm really angry at this, but now you seem to be so jolly and energetic, and that, was there a point you were like, it was an age, it was like, I got sick of that, and then I just got moved on with it? Was it, or you were always just slowly used to it and just...
I guess like my mid-teens, I got pretty angry about it. I was like, why is this happening to me? You know? But I think as soon as the music started, I kind of started to notice that because I wasn't seeing as much, when you're not getting that information from your brain, the visual information, your brain automatically pays closer attention to your hearing. So you essentially gain super hearing. Yeah. And so I kind of realized when I was a musician, I was like, well, wait a minute, I can listen to songs and I can make out all these details that probably the average person can't make out. And I thought, wow, this really, like, I always thought of it as a negative thing, but I think having the problem with my vision is actually a blessing. I call it like a cheat because it makes my ears way better at hearing music, you know?
Right.
So I call it a cheat. I can listen to a piece of music and I can hear something that's being played and I can sing it back or play it back on my guitar pretty much exactly like it is, as if it was like written word, as if it was spoken word. I can transcribe it. So,
as you said, it's like a superpower. It's like as one power diminished, it made up for and give it extra power in another.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. So I don't look at it as a negative thing at all. I will occasionally still get angry about it, but you know, I quickly brush it off and I'm like, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't be angry because this is actually a good thing.
Okay, wow, you have an amazing attitude to the thing. And as I said, I just had known, and I was just intrigued to learn more. As I said, maybe there's other people that maybe don't realize that about you as well. But to do what you do, and like with learning an instrument, so like you feel your way, you know where to hit the right notes, obviously, or hit the right drums. It doesn't affect you finding a string, or you just can find it.
Oh, it affects me finding a string. I mean,
But you get it after a while, I presume.
I get it after a while. I mean, like one thing that happens to me is I can play the guitar. Okay, I can play the guitar pretty well, but the problem is that I don't really look at the guitar when I'm playing it. I kind of have. I because I don't like to anyway. I like to. I like to feel what I'm doing more so than look at the guitar, and I like to be able to sing. Like, when you're singing, you can't really look down at the guitar as you're singing. You have to keep your eyes forward.
Well, no, that's a good trait of yours. Not everyone does that, so you obviously got the right attitude with that as well.
Yeah, no. So, but I do find how it affects me is, I'll go to hit a chord, and not having the fret markers there to look at, I'll go too high or too low. Okay. But other than that, I'm.
You don't strike me as someone that'll get too upset either. You're like, all right, I'll move on and get it going again. Like,
well, you know what? A wrong note is only a wrong note based on what you do after the wrong note.
Very true.
Every note technically can work within any key. It's what you play after it. Wow. Okay.
So right now, are you college, working? What's your next plan? Are you all in on the music?
All in on the music.
Very good.
And like that, that doesn't necessarily manifest itself as me out gigging every day. A lot of my day is spent just at home playing music.
Okay.
Or in my studio.
Yeah, you were saying you've now got a new studio and
I've
all.
got a studio. Yeah.
Cool.
That's very exciting.
And most of your gigs are solo gigs at the moment, but you have a band, you mentioned.
I do have a band.
What stage of fame are they at now? The name there yet, or is it just a group?
The name is there. The name wasn't there for a long time now. It actually took us a while to decide on a name. Originally, we were called Big Jam and Riot.
Big Jam and Riot,
which I'm still personally a fan of.
Okay.
But some of
it emits a lot of visions to go, oh, this could be a different kind of a gig. Like,
well, I'm a big fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I think there's no name more ridiculous than the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and we are ridiculous. Like we're jokes, jokers.
Yeah.
So I thought a silly name like Big Jam and Riot would describe us. Some other members of the band disagreed, didn't think that it was a great name, so I think we've temporarily settled on Sonic Minds.
Okay.
But we might go back to I hope we go back to Big Jam and Riot.
Well, we've heard it here first, lads in the band. You've got to change it. Is it originals or you do covers?
Both, but we started out doing originals.
Okay. So if we are looking for you online now, is there a social media page to find you yet, or is that all in development?
It's in development. Well, I think what we're waiting for is we're waiting to have content to post, because when we make our debut on, because I think this is a great band and I'm really, really proud of us. And I think that we're great. And I think that I want to, because I've been in lots of bands over the years, I don't just want to make a social media and say, oh, well, this is us. Okay. I want to hit the ground running with it. I mean, I want to basically come crashing in out of nowhere and say, this is us. I essentially want to have a professionally recorded and videoed gig, let's say, to be our debut. Okay. So I think we're just waiting on some to have phone holders and stuff that we can record
Get the
ourselves.
whole thing done right. Okay.
But yeah, we're hoping very, very, very soon.
So if people want to follow you, it's at Ryan Scanlon _, isn't it?
It's funny. It's at Ryan Scanlon with 2 underscores.
I was thinking it looked a bit long. So if people follow you on that, they'll be able to see where your gigs are. But then obviously the band you'll announce through that channel as well. Then, so they'll be able to find all the details.
You'll find my solo gigs on my Instagram, and you'll also find when we do make a band account. Yeah. That'll be posted on my personal account as well.
And I'm really enthused by your energy and your optimism and your positivity. And I often like to wonder what people of your age in Sligo town, if I give you €1 million now in Sligo town, what would you put it towards? For the good of the town, and not just, I'll build a bigger studio. What do you see as a younger person in Sligo that you'd love to see more of, I suppose?
I'd love to see the whole traffic situation sorted out.
Okay.
I mean, O'Connell Street springs to mind. We've done a lot of fundraisers on O'Connell Street, for example. Yeah. And you can't get parked on that street because it's one lane of traffic and there's no parking spaces. Everything, there's big flower pots now. And I'm like, did the person who designed this never actually drive in the town?
I'm sure they have.
But it just doesn't make sense.
But then you wouldn't have room to busk, I suppose, would you?
Oh,
the crowd wouldn't be able to gather to watch you play.
They would. They'd find a way. I think the first thing I would do is I would completely rearrange. I'd make streets be. I'd make a lot more streets be two-way again, like they used to.
Okay.
I think there's been too much pedestrianisation.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of it is good, but and I'd also like if I had 1 million, let's just say 1 million, or let's say unlimited.
Yeah, I know 1 million isn't going to do a lot of work, but like you know, I'm kind of thinking for a youth-based project, you know, or what's not around that you'd love to see
for young people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we have it pretty good.
Okay.
I think we have it pretty good. I'd say if anything is just more, I'd love to see like more music-based stuff in town. Like I know you have the Crib. The Crib is brilliant. I'd love to see something like the Crib or somewhere located in a similar location to the Crib where a person could go in for music lessons.
Okay.
And
just a hub of recording and lessons all in. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd love to have. Now, that being said, we have Rumble rehearsal studios.
Yeah, the amazing what Charlie does. Yeah,
it's fantastic what Charlie does. And even though, you know, we don't personally use it anymore because we just decided that we wanted to have our own studio.
Oh, yeah.
I still love what Charlie's doing, and I've spent many, many, many hours in Rumble, and I'm so grateful that we have that.
No, again, I think we're very lucky that we have people like Charlie. As I said, you've Kieran Quinn, you do music, you've Sean Purcell doing music, Karen Gordon, etc., etc.
Yeah.
I could keep going.
Yeah.
But as you said, just that space to constantly be there for people, and maybe for some people who are just dipping their toe in or mightn't have much money to do it. So yeah, I think it would be great because we've such an amazing amount of musical talent and acting talent in Sligo. So yeah, it was just interesting to see now what a younger person, you know, what would you see as the issues in the town? But so
I guess it's hard because I'm starting to see it from a kind of an older person's perspective as well. You know,
okay.
Like I think that the whole traffic thing, a lot of people would be a few years younger than me mightn't look at that. They say, "Oh man, open up more vape shops, man," or like whatever, you know. But like, I just think just more places for young people to hang out.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you ever run for politics? Ever run? Yeah. Strike me as a man now that could have the energy and the drive to do this.
That's a funny one, you know, because like I look at things all the time. Like I look at my phone. For example, and like I'll be on my phone a lot, and I'll be like, why does this not do this? Why, it would make so much sense if this just did this. I'm constantly looking at things, and I'm constantly saying that's not as good as it could be.
Yeah.
To all, I mean, like politics, you know, like the environment, technology,
healthcare, as you said earlier on,
everything. I'm constantly looking at things and saying, and I said to my mom, I'm like, why don't they just? It's so simple. If I can think of it, why can't they think of it?
And again, love the enthusiasm. Like a lot of people do this. They go, "Oh, have you ever written to a council or a politician or anything?" You know, going, "I have an idea."
I haven't, and I must start. But then you'd wonder how far it would actually.
Well,
get,
in fairness, there probably is a few there. The
Maybe.
more, yeah. But again, I think I think you'd have a good weight with your opinion, and you're well enough known now.
I think
you could be the guy to start pushing some of the things to happen. Like.
I think the closest I've got was I use Amazon Music, not Spotify, and Amazon Music is brilliant because it gives you nice high quality music.
Yep. But
the user interface is terrible. It's slow. It's buggy. You'll search for a song and it'll give you a different song. So I wrote a review to Amazon. I was like. These are my ideas. Yeah. You don't have to give me credit. Just do it because I use the app and I want it to do this.
Yeah.
And I don't have the. If I had the coding knowledge, I would code it myself to do what I want it to do. But yeah, but I must.
So there you go. You see, if you've done it Amazon now, it's whatever you see happening around.
I've already hit the big dog.
Yeah.
I'm still
You're
waiting
starting at the top and work down.
I'm still waiting on a response for what's the guy's name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, as I say, unless someone gives them a message, they never know. But as I said. Yeah. You're inspiring for older people or younger people what you've done, and as you know, it's intriguing to learn more about what you've been living through with this as well. So your joy and energy. It's the first time I've ever talked to you properly in a long time or in a long conversation.
I've met you
a couple of times.
I've met you a few times, but seemingly every time I've met you, I've never had time to actually.
You were always plugging in leads. I do. That's fine.
I can't talk right now.
Yeah, but again, always dealing with you, pleasure. But like, it's really lovely to talk to you, and I love talking to younger people as well. To go, you probably hear a lot of people. Oh, the young ones today now, they're always stuck on their phones. They're not. You're not stuck on your phone doing that. You're actually out there doing creative stuff, and I think we need to stop categorizing just because someone says youngsters and young. There's absolute amazing young people out there with lots of good ideas, lots of good energy, and lots of good talent. So.
I'm on my phone more than I'd like to be.
Well, I think that's good. But I mean, I'd say you're on a lot less than most people, older or younger. Yeah.
I'm terrible for replying to people.
That's okay.
I'm terrible at replying to people.
But if it's as long as you're playing music and you're not replying, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's good. So Ryan, at Ryan Scanlon, _. Don't forget that. Keep an eye out for your music gigs coming up.
I actually might just plug this real quick if that's
absolutely.
All right.
Plug away.
So our band Sonic Minds, as they're called,
Currently.
We're playing in the Garvogue very soon.
Right.
Very soon.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. And we're also playing at the festival on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yes. Unannounced. Ooh, Lauren exclusive. It's okay. It's probably going to be out soon.
Oops. On the 16th, which is just the day before Paddy's Day, we're doing a 2-hour slot, which we're absolutely chuffed about.
And that's after the Ireland-Scotland game.
Yes.
Which I heard a rumour that might be shown live.
Yes.
On the screen. So there'll be a big audience waiting for Sonic Minds to come on.
7 to 9 Sonic Minds, Big Jam and Riot.
Maybe the two bands could feature.
Yeah, we're going to be doing kind of half and half of our songs and half Irish, half Irish classics.
Brilliant.
So we're going to rock up the place. It's going to be loud. It's going to be energetic.
I've no doubt.
And we're coming to you, Sligo.
Very good. Ryan, a pleasure. The best of luck in everything you do. Well done in winning Sligo's Got Talent. As I said, your upcoming show with the Mad Ravens, Sean Purcell's musical group, is in the Hawkswell on February the 29th to March the 2nd.
Yes.
Go see it. It's a lovely story. It's an
brilliant.
Original piece of theatre by Sean. And as I said, I can vouch from being in some of the shows before. They're always excellent and great fun. And that one, there's a lovely joy and a bit of humour as well to it. So it's a lovely show to
And one thing I wanted to say as well about the musical is, like, it's an original musical, like you said. Not a whole lot of people, doing that on that scale.
Yeah, very few.
I think we should have more original musicals.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. I'm such a huge fan of it.
You never know. I can see there's a Ryan Scanlon musical probably in production in your mind.
No.
Never know.
But this musical really is great. And think about the Mad Ravens. We're all for inclusivity as well. Like I said, we've myself with the vision impairment. We've another lad who's blind. We're all Mad Ravens is a very
and it's a real mixed age group and everything like it's a lovely
very
group.
Mixed age group.
Good.
I mean, go from like teenagers all the way up to people, like
retired
seniors, retired. Exactly.
No, it's a lovely group, and I would advise anyone that wants to get into theatre. That's one of the best groups you can get into. They're lovely. So
you have the Brendan
down to
Tierney
camera. You can do it to this camera here. It's better.
Brendan Tierney recommendation: join the Mad Ravens. Do it now.
Right,
your
pleasure.
Life is you're missing out if you don't join the Mad Ravens.
Or at least go to the show first.
At least go to the show first,
February.
then join the Mad Ravens in February 29th through to the 2nd of March.
Ryan, a pleasure having you. Listen, thanks very much for coming in, and the best of luck to everything you do, and hopefully I'll have you back on again when you hit even another level of stardom in your music or musical career.
When I win, I don't know.
We'll see what the next competition is.
Got Talent.
Connacht's Got Talent.
Yeah.
So that was Ryan Scanlon. As I said, check him out online. He's doing loads of gigs, and as I said, his new band coming up with loads of gigs coming on as well. Thanks again for joining us here on the Sligo Show. Thanks to Brian behind the scenes, putting all the magic behind all the editing and the shooting from Pixel Productions. And thanks to the guys here in the Business Innovation Centre at the ATU. We'll see you all again next time. Thank you.
The Sligo Show is produced by Pixel Productions and hosted by Brendan Tierney. If you need video for your business or live event or would like to appear on the show, send us a message today.
So if you liked what you just seen, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We've loads of great interviews from a load of really interesting people over the series. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure loads of you are, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow there.